Well, I started back in 1981 with my sister. Her name is Margot. She has a band and had then, and I joined her. Previous to that, I was at school. I mean, I just left school. I went on to college. I thought initially that I would do teaching. That's, what I thought my career would be. But I always, in the back of my mind, I suppose, singing was always there. So I joined Margaret in 1981, and I stayed with her for a couple of years. And that was a period, I suppose, of kind of stand back and observe and like an apprenticeship, really. Mm. Then in 83, I made my first record. And I left my sister's band and started a group of my own. About 9 months, a year later, I had started a slightly bigger band. And then my present band started in 86. And we've been together since. Now, that's a very concise diary of events, but that's how the thing started anyway.
But even as a small boy, did you realise that you had a talent? Because I'd imagine that, being from a musical family as you were, that, you'd have been singing all the time at home.
Always singing, I don't know that I realised I had a talent back then. I suppose singing was as natural to me as getting up or sitting down. I sang all the time. People would come home to visit, I would sing. At local concerts and that in the hall, I would sing. And I was always in the choir, and, if I was out somewhere, your name would be put up and you would just go up and sing, and that would be it. When did I think that I could have a career in music? I suppose in my mid to late teens, that sort of came into my mind. But again, my sister had been hugely successful, and that kind of in a way put me off, because music is something that you need to be lucky. And because she was so successful, I thought, well, this couldn't happen again in our family. If we all wanted to be doctors, if we had the ability, we could possibly become doctors. But the music business is different. I needed to try it. I didn't want to come to a certain age and say, well, I wonder if I tried that, And I remember I was at college in Galway, and I was staying with a lovely family, the Nugents. And I started in September, and I went home for Christmas and realised that, I wasn't going to stick this. I wanted to try the music. So I went back to the house and just to pick up my things, and the woman of the house, her name was Pat, she was standing at the sink. I can still see her. I says, I'm only back, Pat, to get my things. I'm going to sing. I said, I'm going to try it. And I can remember her turning around, and just looking around at me, not taking her hands out of the sink, whatever she was doing. And she just looked at me and said, would you not be better to learn something first? And I can still remember, and she comes to the shows now when we play in Galway, and I tell that story. It's strange, really. And I suppose she was right, it was a big gamble at the time.
Who did you look up to? Did you have any sort of favourite singers of your own? Any people that you took inspiration from?
I mean, I did have favourite singers. I don't know that I ever wanted to be like anybody, and I don't think I am like anybody, really, as far as, how I sing is concerned. But I've always loved Charlie Pride. Loretta Lynn would be my favourite singer. I don't know if you're familiar with her or not. And I really admire Cliff Richard, and many others too. And I've never heard Jim Reeves sing a song that I didn't like. But for myself, I always just sang whatever way I heard it, I never really tried to be like anybody else.
Thank you so much for listening to this interview. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button and ring that notification bell. And there are many, many more to listen to on this channel, so make sure you subscribe if you possibly can. Thank you.